Good Monday morning, everybody. This is Steve, Monday Chief Forecaster for Rowan County Weather. Let's go ahead and take a look at what's going on outside. We've got clear skies out there again to start this morning off. Current temperatures are in the low to mid 20s and upper 20s around the county. 23 degrees in Salisbury right now. And depending on where you go, again, you might be in the mid 20s, maybe even the upper 20s. The warm spots right now this morning are actually up in Boone and Jefferson, 34 degrees in each of those locations up there, 34 degrees down toward Greenville, South Carolina. For the most part, all of us are in the 20s, though, to kick off today. We'll warm up to around 60 degrees today under sunny skies, so another spring-like day on tap for us. And we'll see temperatures gradually warm up as we go through the week into the mid 70s by the end of the week. We'll have more on that in the 5-day forecast coming up. Let's go ahead and take a quick break. We'll come back. We'll give you the weather impacts for today. We'll talk about the pollen outlook, the 5-day forecast, and we'll also talk about today's severe weather preparedness week topics as well. We'll be right back after this message from our friends at Visit Rowan County.
When you're ready to travel, let's give it another go.
The weather impacts for today sponsored by Patterson Farms, and you can head out and take on the virtual tours that they've got going on right now, the Buzz on Bees tour as well as the Strawberry tour. If you're a teacher looking for a way to have some sort of virtual field trip right now with your class, this is a great way to do it. For more information, visit pattersonfarm.com for all the details on booking your virtual tour, the Buzz on Bees tour and the Strawberry tour. You can see sunny skies during the day today. Winds will be out of the north-northwest at around 5 miles an hour, and we'll have clear skies this evening. The Pollen Outlook, sponsored by Good Night's Lawn Care. These guys take care of my lawn, and I love it. They do mowing, trimming, seeding, mulching, pine straw, all kinds of different things. For details and pricing, give them a call, 980-521-1937, and they can give you all the information you need to know about getting your lawn taken care of as well. Pollen outlook, we'll see high levels of pollen for the first half of this week as we head into the end of the week. Extreme levels for Thursday and Friday. Main drivers continue to be juniper, elm, and ash. Mainly anything that's tree related right now is driving the pollen out there. So just keep taking those allergy meds, and we've got a long way to go if you're an allergy sufferer like myself. The 5-day forecast sponsored by SA Sloop Heating and Cooling, built on integrity. Give them a call, 704-857-5684. Visit them on their website, www.sasloop.com. Mention you saw they sponsor the forecast on Rowan County Weather. They'll give you $25 off your first-time service call. Today, we'll see sunny skies, high of 60. With clear skies this evening, a low of 30. On Tuesday, sunny skies, high of 68. Mostly clear skies Tuesday evening with a low of 39. On Wednesday, sunny skies, high of 70 with mostly clear skies Wednesday evening and a low of 45. Thursday, we'll see partly sunny skies with a high of 71. Mostly cloudy skies Thursday evening with a low of 50. And then on Friday, we'll see partly sunny skies with a high of 75. Partly cloudy skies Friday evening with a low of 52. As we continue with severe weather preparedness week this week, let's go ahead and take a look at today's topics. And today we're talking about thunderstorms and tornadoes. So a thunderstorm is a local storm that produces lightning and thunder. Thunderstorms are often accompanied by showery rain and gusty winds and may also bring hail or snow. Thunderstorms occur most frequently during the spring and summer, but they are also possible in the fall and winter. North Carolina experiences about 40 to 50 thunderstorm days per year. About 10% of those thunderstorms are classified as severe, and anything that produces hail or at least an inch in diameter and has winds of around 58 miles per hour or stronger and also produces a tornado is considered a severe thunderstorm. This graphic you see here kind of highlights the the life cycle of a thunderstorm. And here you see the towering cumulus clouds as they continue to build and build, getting higher and higher into the air. And as they do, they develop into the mature stage. And think about it like this: what goes up must come down, right? So water gets pulled up into the atmosphere through the water cycle that we experience. It produces water for us throughout our lifetimes and year round. And look at it as if you take a sponge and put it into a bucket of water. And when you get that water out, if you were to squeeze that sponge like the atmosphere squeezes down and produces atmospheric pressure on clouds, well, what's in those clouds has to come out and come back down to the ground. And that's where the rain comes in for us. So as these clouds continue to develop and tower up into the sky, they get into the mature stage. They start to drop rain down. And then as they start to rain themselves out, they get into what's called a dissipating stage. And ultimately, the clouds end up disappearing and drying out. So that's a little bit on the thunderstorms. Let's talk about tornadoes now and what you can expect with tornadoes. Tornadoes are nature's most violent storms spawned from powerful thunderstorms. Tornadoes can cause fatalities and devastate a neighborhood in seconds. Tornado appears as a rotating funnel-shaped cloud that extends from a thunderstorm to the ground with whirling winds that can reach 300 miles an hour. Damage paths can be in excess of 1 mile wide and 50 miles long. Some tornadoes are clearly visible while rain or nearby low-hanging clouds obscure others. Sometimes tornadoes develop so rapidly that little, if any, advance warning is possible. So I've got some graphics here that kind of show you how tornadoes begin to develop. The first graphic you see, and let me turn on my drawing tools here real quick for this one. So the first graphic you see basically shows how the higher you get in the atmosphere, you got a plane right here. So there's just kind of give you an idea of how high we're talking about in the atmosphere here. You see the wind starting to blow into more of the northwest. And as you go a little bit higher, you see winds blowing basically more northerly. And then as you continue to go higher in the atmosphere, you see them starting to blow northeast and then even higher, even further northeast. And what that's showing is the winds are circulating. So as you get higher and higher up. And so that gives you an example of how the winds begin to circulate and start to rotate in the atmosphere. Well, along the ground, we have what's called essentially a paddle boat type wind. And you see that illustrated here in this graphic where the wind is blowing, essentially like this and rolling across the ground. And what that does is, and to kind of give you an example, if you head out to Dan Nicholas Park this summer and you ride the paddle boats, as you ride them, if you were to look back as you're paddling the boats, you'll see that there's the rudders behind the boat are rotating constantly to propel the boat forward. Well, this wind blows along the ground, and you can see it predominantly during the fall when the leaves are on the ground. And during the summer, let's say you see like a plastic bag blowing along the ground. Well, that's a good illustration of seeing that paddle boat wind. Well, what happens is that wind blows across the ground. If it were to bump into anything or start to get a little elevated in intensity and speed, as it hits these rotating winds you see in this first illustration, it ends up popping it up on its side and starts to swirl through the atmosphere. And there's where you see this in this third illustration here, the arrow pointing straight up like this, essentially is showing that wind getting tilted up on its side. It gets involved with these rotating winds that are already in the atmosphere. And ultimately you get the tornado that gets produced as well. So just a little example on how tornadoes develop and occur. And let's go ahead and take a look at our next graphic here real quickly. And this basically is just some information on additional severe thunderstorm facts in North Carolina. So North Carolina averages around 28 tornadoes, 2 tornado fatalities, and 33 tornado injuries each year. Most tornadoes and tornado-related casualties occur during meteorological spring, which is what we're in now, March to May, with a peak in April, particularly among strong and violent tornadoes. There is also a secondary peak in tornado frequency around November. So essentially, if you think about it, transition months. March is a transition month, a month where we come out of the winter. We've got some warm and some cold and warm air, and sometimes some hot air that gets mixed in there together and jostled around. And then when we get to November, we start to cool back off again. So we've got warmer air starting to move out, colder air coming in. So mainly these transition months where we see the peaks in tornado season. Tornadoes occur most frequently in the late afternoon and early evening hours. However, many killer tornadoes occur during the overnight hours when tornadoes are difficult to see and people are asleep. So it's very important to make sure you have a weather radio or some sort of device that will wake you up during the night if a weather warning gets issued. There's been an upward trend in the reports of weak tornadoes since the middle of the 20th century. This is likely due to improvements in radar technology, communication, storm surveys, and storm spotter training, as well as an expanding population, infrastructure, and spotter network. 30 confirmed tornadoes occurred in North Carolina on April 16, 2011. That was the greatest one-day total for North Carolina on record. On that day, 24 individuals lost their lives in North Carolina, and there were over 300 injuries reporting in central North Carolina alone. Severe gusts of wind from a thunderstorm called downburst or straight line winds are a danger and can result in injuries and fatalities. These can also look very similar to tornadoes in terms of the destruction they cause as well. So again, just important to be weather aware as we get into these warmer months and go through the summer. So that's why we have severe weather preparedness week here in North Carolina. If you're looking for ways to stay updated with Rowan County weather anytime, visit our website, www.rowancountyweather.com. You can follow and like us on our social media pages, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And you can check us out on cable television, WSRG TV in Salisbury. That is available on Hotwire Channel 394 and Spectrum Channel 16. And we'll keep you updated there as well. For now, enjoy your Monday. And as always, thank you for following Rowan County weather.